Wow, it kicked me out again. Once again, I'm having storage problems. But these are equivalent. So if I were to write this functionally equivalent, if I were to write this C code here, this would be the resulting assembly code. And it's assembly code for a while loop. It's actually for a for loop. That's clearly a mistake. So the idea here is that in this piece of code here, I'm initializing in the for loop. The initialization is 6, 0, and I. The thing it does every time is it increments I. So this is an increment operator. This is the same thing as saying I equals I plus 1 or I plus equals 1. There's a couple different ways to write it. The body of the loop is this instruction or this statement right here. So each time through the loop, it adds 2 to the current value of A. And this could have been written as A plus equals 2. Okay, so what I need to do in the code is get I at 0 to support this, and there it is. I'm putting a 0 in there because X0 register is always 0, and it puts 0 into register X10, which is arbitrary. So X11, I got it here. X11 is going to hold the value of 40, which is arbitrary. Not a big deal in this one. And I just, without stating it, I said X20 holds the value of A. So each time through this loop, it's going to add 2 to A. So what you see here, add I, X20, X22, is it takes the value in X20, adds 2 to it, stores the result in X20. This is the thing I do each time through the loop. I always name it admin. Each time through the loop, I'm incrementing I. There's the I increment. This is testing for the terminal condition. I'm taking what's in X40 and seeing if it's equal, X10, and see if it's equal to the value in X11, which happens to be A. And so eventually what you see is X10 starts at 0. It's incremented each time through the loop, so eventually it's going to equal 40. I'm not changing X11 anywhere in here. So this is your standard implementation of a for loop. There's many different ways to do it. This is just one of them. If I were to very easily convert this loop to a do-while loop, and all I'm going to do is change the code from this checking the condition first, which is right here, to doing the body of the loop, doing my extra stuff here, and then checking the condition. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to use. What you're going to see is this one. This is the 2 pieces of code there. If you can use a do-while loop, it's going to be more efficient because essentially there's one less instruction in the do-while loop. But never mind the fact that they are functionally equivalent. Not equivalent, but they're functionally equivalent. And the issue on this one is I knew I was going to execute this loop at least once, so why not use the do-while loop? So here's a while loop, nothing super exciting about it. What I'm going to do is check the condition here. What it says, if X20 is equal to at the value in X10, it's going to jump out of the loop. So what this while loop says here is while I is not equal to A, I is going to increment. Okay, so here's the body of the loop, I plus plus. Here's the increment instruction, and yes, it's just another way to do a loop on this thing. So in C, it's really interesting. Do-while loops are not used that often. In assembly, they used more often because they're more efficient. It's really strange stuff at first, but you get used to it. You're always writing loops in assembly. If you're not writing loops, it's just boring. And I said this before. There's 6 branch instructions and 10 pseudo branch instructions, and I I'm really good with branch if not equal or branch if equal, which are the two listed there. And I use those 95% of the time. If I'm not using those, I have to break out the cheat sheet. So no big deal on that one. So a couple example problems for you. In C programming, when should you use for loop versus a while loop? Knowing that they're interchangeable. And the issue is that if I know how many times I'm going to do a loop, I should use a for loop. If I don't know, typically I'm going to use a while loop. Okay, so in do while loops in assembly, it could be written more efficiently. What does more efficiently mean? That means the loop is going to require less assembly instructions. That being the case, it's going to run faster. Okay, so I'm writing C code, and something's going to decide whether my code's going to generate assembly code is going to generate a while loop or do while loop. Well, what entity decides that? And that's going to be the compiler. The C compiler is going to decide exactly how it implements loops. So here's an instruction here. It looks pretty gnarly. I don't know. I want you to convert this to assembly code. And so what you see here is 3 things that are being initialized, 2 things that are being adjusted each time through the loop, and then there's this instruction here. I'm just keeping a running total of something. It's this kind of junk code here, but the idea here, total, this is shorthand notation for total equals total plus I plus j. So here's the solution. I have to initialize these 3 things, and that's the first thing I do here. I initialize these three things right here. Total is has been initialized to 0 right there. And so there's total at 0. I could have initialized the C code. I could have initialized it up here in this example, but I chose to do it as part of the for loop. So each time through the for loop, it's going to do this operation here. I consider these accumulate operations. So it's going to add I to the total and then add j to the total. I arbitrarily put I and j in x10 and x11. So it's accumulating these things. So these are the 2 conditions here that I have to do as part of the loop administration. So I'm incrementing I right here, and then I'm advancing a j right here. Essentially, it's adding 3 to j. It's taking what's in x11, adding 3 to it, storing the loop back in x11. And then it jumps back up here, checks the condition. It may be done, it may not be done. So this is the solution to that. And what I want to do, it's obviously written as a while loop because I'm checking the condition first. I want to write it as a do while loop. So essentially that means I'm just going to take this condition here and I'm going to drop it down essentially before this, get rid of this jump, this unconditional jump, and replace it with this conditional jump. And you can see that in the solution here. And once again, we oops. Well, anyway, extra slide in there. But here's the 2 solutions together. The idea is the top solution is a while loop, and there's 6 instructions associated with the loop. The bottom is a do while loop, and there are 5 instructions, so it's going to be a little bit more efficient. And that's all, folks. Sorry about the multiple files on the presentation.